Up, Warhawks. Mr. Martin again. We are on 4-7. We're going to talk about some cross sections. We've already kind of talked about those throughout the chapter. We're going to study them a little bit deeper in this. I will be actually using our textbook, so if you want to get that out right now, maybe pause the video and get that. It will be good for you to have that. You can actually draw this stuff in there. So tell you what page number, what we're going through. So first one is actually on page 352. A section of a tree trunk is roughly the shape of the cylinder. As you can see, if you cut right here, that'd be like the cylinder. So suppose a plane intersects the cylinder parallel to its bases. What is the shape of the cross section? And sketch an example. So parallel is going to be going through this way. So we're actually going to do a couple different cross sections just to show you the parallel one, and we're going to do some extra ones. So the cross section that is parallel to its base would be this one. Okay, so this is the one that's answering this question. And if you see the slice right there, hopefully you can see this little circle that's being made. So the cross section would be a circle. The next question said something about it being perpendicular. So if it's perpendicular, and these, like again, these are in your book, so these are just the examples for this page that's on there. If you did that one, the cross section would be a rectangle. Hopefully you can see it. It's kind of hard. I'll try to outline it maybe with one of these pens, see what I can do. But it would be going down straight down here, going across here, going up. Remember, all these are straight lines. I just can't draw straight, and then straight across. So that's kind of a good way to see that. A little bit difficult, but that's a rectangle. So the cross section for that one would be a rectangle. And then the last question, sorry about the bell, doing it in between classes. The cross section would be formed is an ellipse. This would not be a circle because it would actually be, in order for it to be a circle, it would have to look like this. It's kind of going to be a little longer up and down this way than it will be wide. Remember, a circle is going to be equal distance from the center at all places. This one, the distance here is going to be longer than it is wide. All right, so now we're on page 353. Consider a sphere, sketch and describe 3 different cross sections. So if you want to take a minute, try that on your own. You can just sketch a sphere real quick and try to see if you can come up with some of those cross sections. Here are the 3 examples that we came up with. If you go right through the center, that is going to be that vocab word which they're calling as the great circle. It's the circle that we talked about that it goes through the center, or it revolves around the center of the sphere. Whereas this cross section is a smaller circle. It would be similar to this one, but it's not congruent to it. It's similar because this one does not go around the center. And then this cross section of this plane is a single point, so it's just barely touching the little tiny spot on the outside. It's just this point that's right there underneath my cursor. All right, we're on page 354. Consider a cube, sketch, and describe 5 different cross sections. So here we go. This one's going to take a little bit of time. Some of these are very simple. If I just do a cross section straight across, you can see the square that is being formed right there because it's just going to be just like the bases. It's perpendicular to it's parallel to the base, so it's going to be identical to what the base is. This right here is going from at an angle. And if I cut, like, if you ever used building blocks when you were a kid, it'd be like that little triangle building block that you would put together and it'd form a square. So if you took off this top, what you would see is a rectangle. So this right here would be a rectangle. I'm drawing the outline of it with this mouse. So hopefully you can see that. This one starts to get where it's a little tricky, but hopefully you can see this is the cross section. This right here is the triangle they're saying formed. It's right here, this dotted line from here to here, back to here, and then up to there. So that would be the triangle that it's saying is being formed. The last thing is next thing is a pentagon. Again, hopefully you can see this cross section is kind of, it's definitely at a diagonal through this cube, and you're seeing it right here, here, to there, and there, and there's that pentagon 5-sided figure. And then the last one is a hexagon. This thing is at a real big slant, and you can see it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 sides. So those are all the different things. You might want to take a minute, pause your video, try to draw it the best you can. We know that it's not going to be perfect, but at least hopefully you can see the different cross sections. Moving on to page 355. Consider a square pyramid now. So back here we were talking about a cube. Here we're talking about a square, but it's a pyramid. Notice that's only going to go to a single point and the different cross sections. So if I do this, the cross section, again, it's parallel to the base, so it's going to be identical to the base. It's just going to be a little bit, since it's a pyramid, it's going to be similar to the base. It's not going to be congruent. It's going to be a smaller square. All right. If I have this cross section, you can see it right here. Okay. The reason they are calling this an isosceles trapezoid is these two sides are going to be the same length, and they're going to be the same length to each other. These guys right here are going to be parallel to each other. So it's going to be a trapezoid. All right, right here, if you take the quad, this is going to be a quadrilateral. You have 4 sides, 1, 2, 3, 4 being made. Okay, and then right here, we have a single point because again, it's just going through the top. All right, last section is page 356. We're going to talk about a cone. These are just all the different cross sections again. Just hopefully you can see this. Not going to be too much tested probably on this from my class. You can ask Walker and Tipton about theirs. We just wanted you to get an idea to be able to see this, kind of understand cross sections and that kind of thing. So here are the examples. Of course, again, if it's parallel to the base, it's going to be the same shape as the base. So if it's a circle and it's parallel, the cross section it's going to also be a circle. Notice this is not parallel to the base, so it's going to form that ellipse because it's going to be longer top to bottom than it is to sides. This one is a little tricky. They're cutting this down, so it's hard to see, but there's that parabola being formed. And then again, they're just cutting right on the top, right at the tip. So that's going to be just one single point. That plane is only touching that at that one singular point. So that's it. Hope you have a good night, and just take some notes. Try to copy those down the best you can. Just use those solid lines and try to use those dotted lines. Doesn't have to be perfect. Just get some examples down, and you should be good. Hope you have a good night, guys. See you tomorrow.